April 23, 1985. New York City. Roberto Goizueta, CEO of Coca-Cola, stepped up to the microphone. "Today, we make history." His voice was filled with confidence. Over 100 members of the press packed the conference room. Every major media outlet in America was waiting for this moment. Goizueta made his declaration. "We're changing the taste of Coca-Cola." 99 years. Coca-Cola had protected the same taste for nearly a century. In 1886, John Pemberton created the secret recipe. The formula was guarded as a trade secret, stored in a way that only a select few could access. But on this day, everything changed. Goizueta chose to abandon tradition. But this decision had a reason. The 1980s. Cracks were beginning to appear in Coca-Cola's kingdom. Pepsi-Cola, the challenger in the blue bottle, was steadily stealing market share. During the post-war golden age, Coca-Cola had commanded 60% of the market. But by 1983, in supermarkets, it had fallen to under 24%, facing the threat of being overtaken by Pepsi. Meanwhile, Pepsi was steadily expanding its share. On supermarket shelves, Pepsi's presence was beginning to rival Coca-Cola's. Pepsi's weapon was simple: the Pepsi Challenge. Simple testing booths set up in shopping malls. 2 unmarked cups, marked M and Q. Consumers chose one, and the results were startling. In blind taste tests, depending on the conditions, Pepsi was often preferred, creating headlines. Coca-Cola headquarters was shaken by this fact. 1982. Roberto Goizueta became CEO, the son of a Cuban immigrant, a Yale graduate who had worked at Coca-Cola for 26 years. He stood in his Atlanta headquarters office, gazing out the window. "We cannot lose to Pepsi." But what could be done? An idea began to take root in his mind. What if we changed the taste itself? 1984. Coca-Cola launched a secret project. The development proceeded under the code name Project Kansas, an underground research facility. Chemists were creating a new formula. The goal was clear: create a taste that beats Pepsi. Hundreds of formulas were tested. Increase the sugar content. Emphasize the sweetness. Move closer to Pepsi's taste. And finally, it was complete. The new Coca-Cola. Sweeter than Pepsi, more modern in taste. But should they really launch this? Goizueta was cautious. "I want solid proof that we'll win." And so, the largest taste test in history was conducted. Approximately 200,000 tests. 13 cities across America. Investment, $4 million. Blind taste tests. Consumers sampled 2 cups. The results were clear. 55% of people chose the new formula. Not the original Coca-Cola. Not Pepsi. The new Coca-Cola formula. Statistically significant. A sample size of approximately 200,000. A $4 million investment. Goizueta was convinced. We can win with this. But he didn't realize something. That single-sip taste tests had a critical limitation. April 22, 1985. Late at night, Goizueta sat before the final approval documents. His hand gripped the pen. The decision to change 99 years of tradition. But 200,000 data points supported it. He signed. The next day, the world would change. April 23, 1985. 10 a.m. Goizueta held up the new bottle. "Building on 99 years of tradition, we've evolved. The best just got better." Camera flashes erupted simultaneously. Television cameras broadcast this moment across America. ABC News, NBC News, CBS News. Every major media outlet reported it as their top story. Coca-Cola is changing its taste. Goizueta was certain of victory. But just hours later, something strange began happening at Atlanta headquarters. The phones wouldn't stop ringing. The customer service center. Every line was occupied. An operator picked up the receiver. "Why did you change the taste? This isn't Coca-Cola. Change it back." Voices of anger. voices of disappointment, voices of grief. Immediately after the announcement, protest calls and letters surged, overwhelming their capacity to respond. And then something even more serious happened. Consumers began to organize. In Seattle, the Old Coke Drinkers of America was formed. The leader was Gay Mullins, a retired veteran. They held street demonstrations, carrying signs that read, "Bring back Old Coke." Reports emerged of hoarding of Old Coke across the country. In the South, a boycott movement spread. The new formula Coke disappeared from supermarket shelves. June. The situation worsened. Responses through calls and letters were reported to have reached hundreds of thousands in a short period. Goisweta stared at the report. Why, we were winning in 200,000 tests. But the report told a cruel truth. Sales were being negatively affected, requiring swift course correction as a business decision. And then, the media began to criticize Coca-Cola harshly. Major media outlets reported extensively on the situation, with harsh commentary following. And then, hired psychiatrists warned the executives. They opened their report. Consumer reactions mirror the grief process of losing a family member. They feel they've been robbed not of a taste, but of their memories. Coca-Cola is part of their lives. First dates, family gatherings, summer memories. That's what Coca-Cola is to them. You compared tastes in taste tests, but single-sip tests couldn't measure daily consumption satisfaction or the emotional bond with the brand. Silence filled the conference room. Goisweta understood. They had made a fatal mistake. July 10th. The board of directors was summoned for an emergency meeting. Goisweta stood before the directors. The situation is critical. Data was presented. Negative impact on sales and market share. Immeasurable damage to brand value. One director spoke. Goisweta, we have 3 options. First, continue as is, wait for consumers to adapt. Second, sell both the new formula and Old Coke. Third, completely revert back. Silence dominated the conference room. Goisweta closed his eyes. July 11th. Late at night, Goisweta remained alone in his office. Outside the window, Atlanta city lights glowed quietly. Inside his mind, 2 choices battled fiercely. Continue forward or go back. If he continued, his pride would remain intact, but the company would collapse. If he reversed course, he would admit defeat, but the company would be saved. Goisweta made his decision. The company over pride. He picked up his pen and signed the document. Bring back the Old Coke. July 11th. 11 a.m. Goisweta appeared once again at the press conference. In his hand was a bottle of the Old Coke. We have heard you. We're bringing back Coca-Cola Classic. In that moment, the room erupted. The press applauded in unison. Camera flashes continued without pause. Goisweta continued. We were wrong. We underestimated the voice of consumers. But today, we make it right. About 2.5 months after the April 23rd announcement. It was the fastest policy reversal in history. That afternoon, an extraordinary scene unfolded across America. Long lines formed at supermarkets. People rushed to buy Coca-Cola Classic. One woman hugged a bottle and cried, "It's back. My Coke is back." Seattle's Old Coke Drinkers of America declared victory. We won. By raising our voices, we moved a giant corporation. ABC News reported. The Voice of America changed Coca-Cola. And then, something remarkable happened. By the end of 1985, the combined share of Classic and New Coke saw Coca-Cola's market share surge. They surpassed Pepsi once again. Moreover, the new formula remained. 2 product lines, Coca-Cola Classic and the new formula. As a result, in some regions, selling both Classic and New Coke increased shelf presence. And ironically, this failure elevated Coca-Cola's brand value. Consumers realized something. Coca-Cola listens to our voices. The media evaluated it this way. The greatest marketing failure in history transformed into the greatest marketing success. Goisweta learned his lesson. At a marketing meeting, he said this: We conducted perfect research, 200,000 taste tests, a $4 million investment. But we overlooked something critical. Consumers aren't just buying taste, they're buying memories, they're buying tradition, they're buying their own identity. Data doesn't lie, but data doesn't tell the whole story. A brand is something that can't be measured in numbers. The psychiatrist's words had been right all along, and this lesson eventually became history. The New Coke failure left an important lesson for the business world. Perfect data doesn't guarantee the perfect answer. 200,000 taste tests. A $4 million investment. Statistically significant results. Yet everything was wrong. Why? Consumers aren't buying products. They're buying experiences. They're buying memories. They're buying their own identity. Brand loyalty isn't a rational judgment. It's an emotional bond. Coca-Cola reversed course in about 2.5 months. They set aside pride and listened to consumers' voices. And paradoxically, that humility strengthened the brand. New Coke later changed its name to Coke 2 and eventually disappeared from the U.S. market. Meanwhile, in recent years, nostalgia-driven limited re-releases have occurred, with that past failure being reused as a story worth telling. In 2019, that colossal failure, called New Coke, made a limited comeback through a collaboration with the Netflix series Stranger Things, and this time it was enthusiastically welcomed. Even failure became an asset. And interestingly, today's Coca-Cola uses AI to develop flavors of the future and continues to evolve its data utilization. Learning from the data obsession failure of 1985, they continue exploring taste with more sophisticated technology. Now, let me ask you, perfect data can lead to the wrong conclusion. Because humans aren't driven by numbers alone. If you were caught between solid data and field intuition, which would you trust? Is what customers truly want the same as what you're measuring? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In this story, we've witnessed the greatest marketing failure in history and the unexpected success that emerged from it. Blueprint of Giants is a channel that deeply explores decisive moments in business and history, searching for lessons applicable to today. We'll continue bringing you stories of executives torn between data and intuition, success and failure. Subscribe and like to experience the next story together. Until next time.